G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 9 of my Lightning Deceiver playthrough with Dave here. In the last episode, at the end there, I had these boots and some other stuff, but I've sold those. But I did have these boots left over, and I'm looking at the extra armor on these, I'm looking at the pierce, poison, and bleed, and I'm kind of thinking, maybe. 4% Fizz Res is kind of nice, but these do have more armor. They're going to increase the armor on every other slot. And they've got 3 resistances instead of 1, so I'm going to chuck those on. It does also mean that we don't need another anti-venom salve here, which is good. The other thing I'm going to point out is these 2 items. I went to get another Chosen Mask, and if you also need another Chosen Mask, you want to head to the Infernal Wastes Rift. And then I'm not going to run up there, but basically just go in here. And you're looking for Sister Crimson. She is in here. And she will drop you a new hat. Now, I didn't even get to Sister Crimson. I got this from just some random enemy. And this is good enough. This is actually quite nice. It's a straight upgrade pretty much across the board for the one that I'm wearing. Lose a little bit of physique, but I don't really care. So I'm going to be wearing this once I get another level up. And just to hammer home my point, the same monster, or the pack, the monster dropped that, also dropped another piece of Perdition. So without even trying, I've collected 3/5 of the Perdition set. Let's see if we can get the whole thing. Alright, so with that said, we are up to the Necropolis and a whole bunch of other quests that I'm kind of not going to do. Can I do... No, I can't do that one yet. I did not mean to click on that. Let's go to the Necropolis. There we go. Right. So all the rest of this is pretty much done, and it's time to go this way. The Necropolis is a lot of Chthonians, it's a lot of Ethereals, and it's also somewhere where you're going to want to make sure your resistances are under control. Now, 80% across the board in every slot is kind of the dream. You may not have that. I mean, I'm a little bit short on Vitality. Chaos is good if I leave here. Yeah. So if you need Aether and Chaos, pump Steel Resolve. If you put 10 points in here, that'll give you 30% both. This is a really good way to solve Aether and Chaos. Actually, if I let this run out, I'm pretty sure I'm not actually capped on either of those. 1% under on Aether and 5% under on Chaos. But that's fine because this is pretty much always going to be active as long as I can remember to push the button. So that's one really good way to solve that issue. Unfortunately for me, Vitality is one of the resistances that I am going to need for the Act boss. The other ones being Poison, which is capped, and Chaos and Fire, which are also capped. So I am going to have to get some Vitality from somewhere, and I have a few ideas on that. In fact, I mean, basically I've already solved this in my head. It's just... have to go and do it. If you haven't been checking Isaiah Redden in Homestead, now would be a good time to start checking him, because if you happen to be just a little bit short on, for example, Vitality resistance, you can go talk to him. That's a trap. You can go talk to him, and he will occasionally sell you a potion that'll give you some Vitality resistance. Also, yeah, this one next. So you can solve at least one of your resistance issues with Isaiah's potions. That doesn't really... I mean, it's better to solve it with gear, let's put it that way. But you need to solve it, and it doesn't really matter. As long as you can keep feeding yourself potions, I guess you can do it that way. But at least for me, if I'm relying on potions to cap a resistance, at some point I'm going to forget. Or I'll get hit by an arcane, sort of like the purge that strips all your buffs off. And I won't remember that was one of the buffs. And so for me, using potions is going to get me killed. So I just don't do it except for specific fights. Alright, let's go ahead and blow these guys up. There is a lot of good loot in here. Let me just check the... Yep, checking the plan for what loot I need. Mostly because this dropped. Level 35 requirement, this one is definitely not happening. But, I mean, pretend this is a level 45 armor piece, and it's got 450 armor on it. Suddenly, all that offensive ability, percentage armor, 4 different resistances, and plus 3 to vulnerability, that looks pretty good. So I am interested in the, is it Flesh Warped? Yeah, Flesh Warped Plate Mail. Definitely interested in that. The plan I've kind of thrown together does use more of a caster chest, but that's not until Malmoth. And honestly, I think I'd almost rather have the extra armor, but we'll see. We'll see what drops. All right. Also, these helmets. Granted, you're going to lose damage for putting one of those on, but they are really good for fixing resistances. They come with elemental built in, and this sorry, they come with piercing built in, and elemental. Yeah, piercing and elemental, and then this one's got some aether as well. Bunch of health, pretty good armor. I mean, 575 armor is not bad. So that's definitely one way you can solve armor issues. This is one thing I see come up fairly regularly on the forums. People say, you know, I'm around level 30. 30 is usually where it first happens. But yeah, I'm around level 30 and I'm just dying constantly. I have all my resistances above 50%, so it's not that what's killing me. It's almost always armor if it's not resistances. So upgrading your armor is pretty good. Alright, let's throw some more lightning out there. Houndmaster's Overseer's Eye. This is another good one for a candidate for kind of a temporary offhand, is the Overseer's Eye. Plus 2 to lightning tether is good for us, and then these do have lightning bias. So granted, Houndmasters is pet stuff, but of Thunder is not hard to get. You could probably also get something with a lightning proc on it semi-easily. The hard part, of course, being finding enough eyeballs to drop them. Alright, and I am going to actually spend the time sending all of this to the Shadow Realm, otherwise known as the back page of my inventory, where I put things that I swear I'm going to use later. And to be fair, sometimes I do. That one's 52, that one is next level. Okay. So, once again, there is no such thing as enough Aether Crystals, so I like coming this way because, well, because Aether Crystals. This way also usually has the totems, which I've already killed the totems, so pretty happy with that. But I'm going to be honest, I'm here for the Aether Crystals. That's not a trap, which is good. Okay, Fleshwort Pauldrons I'm not too interested in. But, you know, they... Excuse me? They may be alright. Alright. Now, this crypt right here, this crypt has a devotion shrine in it. And I'm going to try something that sometimes works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a rift gate there, and I'm going to try to remember to come back. So place your bets now in the comments as to whether I'm going to remember. But I do find that talking about not remembering and kind of making a joke out of it does help. So I've probably already won. I am also about to hit another devotion shrine, kind of here-ish. Unfortunately, it is blocked by a wall, which is not great. But that's alright, we can go around. We have the technology. Here we go. I am, of course, going to kill the guy with the star above his head, because obviously. Okay, didn't really drop anything good, but that's okay. You're in the way, buddy. I'm going to have to ask you to move. And I'm just going to turn this on. Nothing over there is looking particularly scary, so let's just take him out. Okay, of the Grove, really good suffix, and you can see here, this is a higher level version, and it's going to heal me for a massive 50 additional health. So I'm just going to keep the other one, and I'll probably keep the other one all the way to 100. And let's see, what else did we drop here? I thought there was a blueprint. Apparently not. That's fine. Devotion point. You love to see them. And we are working our way up the Harvestman Scythe. Lots of good stuff here, stats and regen stuff, which, I mean, regen's not bad. We will have some regen on the build. So definitely not a bad thing to have. Okay, and we can just throw a couple spells out and keep moving. Alright, we're going to have to fight for this one, so let's throw the seal down. These guys are mildly terrifying, depending on what weapons they have, because they do get to hit you with their weapons. So this guy right here is probably the scariest thing in this entire spawn. Yeah, superior, so added physical damage, and then celerity. They do have a kind of force wave-like skill that I'm not actually sure if it's just a copy of force wave. It does have a different name in the files, but yeah, they do have a force wave-like skill that they will hit you with. And so having them with those axes with huge flat physical and percent physical stuff on it is mildly terrifying. Alright. That is all that done. So I swapped this helmet over. Just get a little bit more armor. 245 on this is a decent bit better than what I had. It's still not amazing. You can see it's still the lowest armor level that I'm wearing. But this is a caster helmet, and I'm wearing heavy shoulders, heavy gloves, heavy chest, heavy pants. All the rest of my armor is heavy. We could also go look for the +1 to cultist belt here, actually. Which, from memory, is going to be the Rovers. Requires level 35, so I'm not sure why I didn't already have that. I am definitely aiming for the Inquisitor, but until then, we could definitely... Vengeful Wraith I already bought. Okay. Restless Remains could also be an option. Where is it? There it is, Roa Record. No resistance is baked into this. It's probably why I didn't do it. Also, the Doom Bolt is the wrong damage type. But 30 armor versus 33, yeah, that's probably why I didn't do it. The level 51 here also is probably not going to happen, just due to reputation. By the time we have the reputation to use this, I'll just have the Inquisitor version. Honestly, that's probably why I didn't already make it. Having said that, I do really like +1 to the all skills belt. So, strongly recommend getting one. Maybe not this one, though. Alright. Let's see, did I already talk to Olgrim? I think I did. Let's just make sure before I go ahead and clear the rift. No! Alright, if you bet it against me, you win. What do you win? I don't know, but you definitely win. Alright, I'm gonna do the walk of shame. The walk of, you did it again, you forgot your rift, and now it's gone. Honestly, nobody should be surprised at this point. That's alright, it's not too far, so we'll just hoof it, and you guys can have a chuckle at my expense. Okay, into the crypt here. Now, this is basically a big circle around the edge that we want to kind of get to the I guess the west corner of this little square bit at the top here. Let me see. That's blocked off. Lovely. So I've gone the wrong way. It's alright. We'll make it. We'll be okay. Here we go. This is where I want to go. So you can see it's kind of a square, and you want to get over here to the western corner. This is how you get out. And then it becomes a circle. I know that sounds weird, but just bear with me and I'll show you what I mean. So we've made it to the edge of the square, and now we want to kind of do a circle motion. That'll get us towards the middle, which is where the devotion point is, or the shrine, I should say. Little happy face here. Don't know why he has one small eye and one big eye and only one nostril. But hey, he's very happy about it, so can't be that bad. Okay, I do see a hero there, so I'm going to want to kill him. He's going to die pretty quick. Damage on this is actually better than I expected, which I'm putting mostly down towards the MIs that add a bunch of electrocute damage. That and the resistance shredding procs. Alright, here's Plagius, is it? Yeah, Plagius, the Decrepit. We're going to basically stand in the circle of I take very little damage, and we're going to burn him down. We'll give him his own circle of you take damage to stand in. And this may be actually worth using, maybe. The Marker Pledges there comes with Chaos Resistance built in, and then the of Soul Warding is adding more Chaos and a little bit of Aether, and we got some health. That's not bad. It's definitely not something that that is particularly amazing. It's not a monster infrequent with bonuses to one of the skills we're using, but it's also not bad. Alright, and this is what I was here for. One Roiling Blood, which everybody will have by now. And we've got the Scorch Rune leg wraps. Now, are we going to use these? No. No skill points that I care about, less resistances, and the wrong damage type. It does have a little more health though, so that's not horrible. Poison Bleeding, how much am I over by on piercing? I think I will swap these just for the extra armor. Having said that, yeah, it does make the average go down. I'll leave that. And attributes, more physique, skill points. Now we get to the fun part. So we are reducing elemental resistance again, which means we are getting more damage. It does unfortunately mean that I have another button that I have to push, which I don't love. But that'll be okay. In terms of resistances, what do I have? If I push that button, yeah, pretty much the same. I do need some more vitality, and actually, let's go talk to my good friend Isaiah, just to make sure I have some. I may already have one in the bank. I do try to get these fairly early. I think I mentioned it back in episode 3 or something. Poison is worth grabbing as well, and the rare jewelry can be worth looking at. It probably won't be, but it can be. Okay, let's see if I have one in the bank already. If I do, I'll stop looking, but otherwise I may just come back every now and again and poke around. That's Chaos, which is unfortunate. So it's definitely worth having. These Venom Guard I probably didn't need, but that's alright. It's not a bad thing to have them. I was kind of hoping that that was right next to this one. Anyway, it's fine. So we're in the inner Necropolis, or the Necropolis interior. We want to get in there, but that is sealed by a blood barrier. So we're going to want to go ahead and kill everything here. We've got some wagons to bash. First of which for me is here. Now the wagons are, I think each of them has 2 different spawn locations. It's something like that. They're not always in the same place. So I'm just going to run around and hit all of the places. This is one of the spots for the Exalted Stash. Again, there's a couple of these. Tempest Sigil. Okay, sounds good. Unfortunately, not amazing. No resistances is the curse of a lot of blue items. Okay. Let's go ahead and curse everybody up, throw lightning at them. And we've dropped a double rare. Aether Fire of Arcane Balance. So that's a lot of fire and elemental. A little bit of Aether. 3 resistances. It's a helmet, so I'm not going to use it, but, you know, the option is there. Lich Guard, no. Prismatic Eviscerator, also no. Adept Spellblade. Okay, so I've been using this blue item. And later we will be using a Monster Infrequent. But if you don't have that, some of the Adepts stuff may be good. You might want to look into some crafting things. You could also look into where is he? In the conflagration, the big statue, the boss at the end, maybe worth killing. We will eventually be killing the boss of the immolation for his weapon. Unfortunately, you need a certain level of reputation with the Black Legion in order to get in there. So we are kind of locked by reputation for our main weapon. But that's kind of okay at the moment because we're also locked by levels because that weapon supports Doombolt. So it's not the end of the world. Here we go, here's another Blood Wagon. These guys, once again, a little bit scary. The white ones, or the ones with the white names, are not too bad because they, I'm pretty sure, can't, but at the very least they almost never have the weapons. Exalted Stash might be just here. Your totem also might be over here. Now, I'm not planning on ever coming back here, actually, on normal difficulty, but just here, maybe a totem. The reason I say that is because it's often worth clearing the the fog of war off of the map, so as you can see it from further away. But if you're not planning on ever coming back, it kind of doesn't matter. Let's go this way. The last one should be over here. That said, there are a few spots in the middle of the map, this is one of them, where it can spawn. I'm kind of hoping it's right over here on this corner, near the final totem location. It's definitely not. So totem just kind of here-ish. And it's definitely, yeah, it's the western one. So that's alright. We'll find it. There it is. And fortunately they managed to kill it for us because you can't put spells on it. Or at least you can't apply Stormbox to it. Right, so I don't actually need to run. We can rift back. Because the crypt is now open and we can go in. So welcome to the second last area, or I guess third last because the boss room counts. Third last area of the base game. As you can see, there's a few levels to go down. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that actually. There we go. It goes down a little ways. And if you read the lore notes around this place, it's kind of creepy. There's a few lore notes from people who were forced or chose, I think mostly forced, to help build this place. And, well, let's just show this one. Alright, what do we got? Blood, Sworn, Vestments. +2 to Blood of Drig is good. Fire to Chaos, I don't care. So this could be alright. It's a fairly large downgrade in armor. My current chest actually still has the Blood of Drig and 5 Fizz Res, so no. Formidable is not bad. The healing effect increase there is pretty good. That's right, I'll keep that. Yeah, so the blood flows, and then Clarity of Valor. If you want to read these, leave it on the screen for a second there, and you can go ahead and pause it. Alright, and down they go. Lovely. Adept Morningstar. Elemental. Comes with a proc. Okay. So, when you're crafting these things, you'll get... I think the rare ones actually don't come with affixes, but at most it'll come with one. So you could potentially, if I'm remembering correctly, get another proc on this. I'm sure someone will tell me I'm wrong in the comments, which is always good. But that might be worth having a look at.
I can't do that yet.
Obviously, I'm going to pop all of the little secret candles that open various things. I was expecting a bunch of enemies to spawn in here as well, and it didn't happen, which is a little weird. But that's fine. Okay, coming up on the slug as well. Before we get there, however, I have some loot in the walls here to take care of. So just your usual hidden stash there, but it's hidden, you know, it's special. Alright, so you may get your green wormy dude right here. He's going to be doing, obviously, poison stuff, but shouldn't be too hard at this point in the game for you. There's another devotion shrine. I think this one used to be ultimate only, but it's definitely available here now. And more Bloodsworn stuff. That's fine, you can keep the Bloodsworn stuff. And are we done? I think we're done. There we go. Alright, the important part is that I have finished the Harvestman's Scythe. So percent health, percent energy, and a bunch of regen of both types, which is looking really good. Now, according to the plan, at this point we go back all the way back down to DC. Would be nice if we could zoom that map out a little further so as I could get here without having to scroll multiple screens worth of distance, but anyway. Can't have everything you want, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to be taking my points out of the quill. And we'll be taking the jackal instead. So, the quill goes bye-bye. And then we need 1 point red. 1, 2, 3 in the jackal. Then we're going to be taking that red point out. And we'll be starting on the behemoth, or behemoth. So, first order of business is Giant's Blood. Then we'll worry about getting the rest of this. Then we'll be getting the eel, which is up here. Hang on a second. No, we'll be... Yeah, no, the plan says eel, so apparently I've made a mistake. Alright, so we won't be getting the eel. We've already got that. We'll be going with Crossroads Green, Altos up to the proc, and then we'll be getting Korvac. Let me just go ahead and change the notes I have here to delete the eel, because we've already got that. And we'll head in to... Actually, I'm going to swing by Homestead. Hopefully without deleting my Riftgate. Because I do still need a Vitality Resist Potion. There it is. Lovely. Stream of luck, even though I'm not streaming. No. Okay, got this. I'm going to pop this at the start of the next floor. Just so as I can get a little bit of benefit out of it on the next floor, as well as in the boss fight. I think you get 15 minutes out of them, but yeah, that'll be fine. All right, we did just walk past a little bit more hidden loot in the walls, which I'm going to go and get. And the candle that opens this door is right about... Where is it? Yeah. There we go. So it opens this door. There's another door kind of over here as well that it opens. But this is what I was coming in here for. I need my trash rare items to sell for iron bits that I'm not going to spend. Okay, I think somewhere up here is another spawn location for a totem as well. I could be a little bit off on that, but that's... I feel like there's somewhere around here there was another totem. Actually, you know what? It's down here, isn't it? Kind of on this bottom area. That's fine. There's another totem. If you have it, it'll show up on your map. Bloodsworn Scepter. Oh, here we go. Bengal galore. So, Poison Bro here. Just gonna slowly tick him down. There he goes. Got any good loot? Fiend Leather Girdle. Unfortunately, we're not playing a Sorcerer. Or, I guess, a Demolitionist of any description. But let's go ahead and neck that potion. He's going to be waiting here in this red circle, basically. So when you get to the end of the first level, if you didn't find him previously, he'll be waiting for you. And welcome to my least favorite area in the entire game. Maybe equal least, because I also don't like the undergrowth. But I have had a good run in here of not having to backtrack. I had a really good run the other day where I basically just walked up the side here, and it kind of just let me go the whole way. Which is great, but it almost never does that. So let's see if we can just go straight up the side again. I'm not expecting it, but it would definitely be very nice. Okay, Frenzy to Veracity. If I was playing an attacking build, I would still not use that because I'd be looking for a monster infrequent weapon. But those affixes are really good. And it has let me do it, I think, twice in a row now, maybe 3 times in a row now. I'm kind of thinking there might have been a patch change, or I've just got very, very lucky. Because I've been playing Grim Dawn for about 4, maybe 5 years now, and this has happened like 3 times ever, and they were in the last month. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'll take it. Okay, so Chaos, Poison, Fire, Vitality. Get them all as close to 80% as you can before you go in to play with the Loghorrean. Before that, however, we have to take out Bloodlord Thalanus here. Not that he's particularly dangerous, but his little friends there will shred your resistances. So you do have to be a little bit careful of them. And we've got the Bloodsworn Sigil here. Now, if we were doing a Pyromancer, which was one of the other options that was included in that last poll, this would be how we would be converting Doombolt to fire, at least partly. We're not, however, playing that, so yeah, that's fine. Bloodlord's Vengeance is obviously the weapon. What's that? The Aura Essentia? Extra fire damage and a larger area. Okay. Okay. +2 to Aura Essentia is also pretty good. Definitely not going to use it, but it is kind of cool. Okay, so boss guy, I've already gone over the resistances you're going to need. He's got multiple phases, but I'm kind of expecting to just stand in front of him and blow him up. Whether that will actually happen, we will see. So you're looking at the colors of his mouth. He is actually sundering me this time, which is nice. The green one is poison kind of shotgun. If his mouth glows red, he's going to shoot the thunderballs at you. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you've built your character well, if you've done pretty much what I did, you're going to stand in front of him and just wait for him to die. Even sundered, you'll see my health bar, it's not really moving. And that is because high resistances, decent armor, and max level Inquisitor Seal. That's pretty much it. Sundered again, and it just doesn't matter. Throw an extra storm box out there. And that's it. We have defeated the log monster. Well, any second now. There he goes. And his friend. Plus all the other tentacles. Yeah, that was entirely down to Inquisitor Seal combined with high resistances and just okay armor. Alright, let's see the loot. Juggernaut is the best soldier leveling relic in the game, and also pretty good for just anyone. The Unstoppable proc there gives you a percentage and flat heal, combined with giving you 80 health regen, and it's going to be up pretty much constantly. So that's pretty good defensive, even if you're not playing a soldier. What do we got? I was kind of hoping this was the Monster Infrequent Shoulders. We will actually be using his Monster Infrequent Shoulders because they have bonuses to Doombolt there, +3 to Doombolt. Also comes with physical resistance and offensive and defensive ability built into the Monster Infrequent. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck those over here. I may not use them straight away. Because we don't actually have Doombolt yet, it's probably not the most important thing to use those straight away. What levels do we be having for the Loghorreans? Hang on, I'm just looking them up on Grim Tools to see what levels they are available. 84, 75, 50, and 35. So this one's probably going to be pretty good for us until 75 or 84. Inquisitor Creed is going to give us the game's second and final cutscene, which I'm going to skip. And we've hit Respected with the Black Legion, which is good. Okay, yep, the Illuminati. Got it. Don't care. Let me talk to the girl. Alright, did give me a blue or purple item. I didn't pay attention to it, but I think it was the Signet of Astral Ruminations. Damage proc is good. Can I afford to swap another ring off? The Signet of the Runefather is very, very nice. +2 to Inquisitor Seal, some health. I think maybe it's time to think. Oh no, this is what we actually got. Which +4 to Intensify. Where is Intensify? Okay, it's definitely none of them. It'll be in here somewhere. There it is. So, no. Having said that, gloves with chaos resistance and 17% casting speed is not horrible. And then the flame patch as well. Like we've got some fire damage. We've got not very much, but a little bit of fire damage percentage. We could maybe make use of that. Definitely not going to, but we could. Mostly for the purple equipment you get at level 50. The biggest advantage is the massive pile of armor you get with them usually. Let's say we were playing a build that these gloves were really good for. I would probably use these until the mid-70s, just based on the armor value on them alone. Unfortunately, they're no good, but if they were, they would be pretty good until easily mid-70s, maybe even the level 84 Monster Infrequents. I am going to sell them though, they're no good for us. Alright, so we hit Respected with the Black Legion, which means we can get bounties from them now. However, I'm not doing normal bounties. You'll get 1 to 200 reputation from a normal bounty. It's just not worth it. Let's see if we can turn any quests in here. Sigil of the Three. Okay, that's Forgotten God stuff. Alright, Calderos I'll do off screen. Okay, I'm going to end the episode here, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. We'll be starting Ashes of Malmoth in the next episode. So, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one, and goodbye for now.